ladies and gentlemen, to Sliwa Stadium for tonight's SWAC contest between the visiting Alabama A&M Bulldogs and your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Before we begin, let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visiting Bulldogs. Batting first and playing left field, number 7, Miles Jackson. Batting second, playing center field, number 3, Bryson Hannings. Batting third, playing right field, number 8, Terrace Murray. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 10, Zach Rice. Batting fifth, playing second base, number 17, Isaac Castro. Batting sixth, playing designated hitter, number 23, KJ Stanfield. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, number 1, AJ Anderson. Batting eighth, playing third base, number 33, Travell Johnson. Batting ninth, playing catcher, number 40, Colin Mason. And the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs is number 16, Evan Hurlbert. The Bulldogs are coached by Lewis Whitlow. He's assisted by Mark Hernandez and Desmore Joseph. And now the starting lineup for your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Batting first and playing left field, number 1, Darrell Lee. Batting second, playing third base, number 26, Andre Martinez. Batting third, playing right field, number 5, Michael Rodriguez. Batting fourth, playing catcher, number 10, Michael Lucena. Batting fifth, playing second base, number 2, Jeter Poyetto. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, number 29, Eric Almonte. Batting seventh, playing first base, number 33, Jorge Rodriguez. Batting eighth, playing designated hitter, number 44, Jose Fernandez. Batting ninth, playing center field, number 7, Christopher Watson. And the starting pitcher for your Wildcats is number 31, Care Bogabello. The Wildcats are coached by Jonathan Hernandez. He's assisted by Derek Cartaya, Joel Sanchez, Hunter Allen, and Peter Vasquez. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Live from Sliwa Stadium on the campus of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in beautiful downtown Daytona Beach, Florida. It's time for the second of this 3-game Southwestern Athletic Conference baseball series featuring the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. The Wildcats ran away 14-4 winners in a run rule yesterday evening and will look to complete a series win over the Bulldogs today. The Wildcats 27-11, 13-3, tied for first place atop the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Alabama A&M 8-32, just 2-14 of the conference with 2 wins over Alcorn State. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company here on the CatEye Radio Network, the CatEye Network on YouTube, and SWAC TV. Here at Embry-Riddle, because of a conflict with the Daytona Tortugas, our local minor league team that shares Jackie Robinson Ballpark with us normally during the season. Well, last night, Alabama A&M flew out to a 2-0 lead in the first with a 2-run home run by Bryson Hammonds. Then the Wildcats responded with 8 in the first 2 innings, including 4 in the second. Alabama A&M clawed it back to eventually an 8-4 game before the Wildcats put up 6 in the final 2 innings to run away with the run rule victory. Tanner Bocabello goes on Saturday for the first time in his Wildcat career. He was the Friday night starter his first season in maroon and gold last year, where he went 7-1 with a 4.52 ERA and was first team All-SWAC and preseason SWAC pitcher of the year. This year he was bumped to the Sunday spot, and he is 3-0. 9 appearances, all starts with a 4.72 ERA. 40 innings pitched. He's allowed 26 runs on 46 hits. 21 of those 26 runs are earned, strikes out 37, walks 15 with a batting average against of 259. No wild pitches, no balks, no hit, and 7 hit by pitches on this season. The Wildcats maroon caps, gold jerseys, white pants. Alabama A&M maroon caps, maroon jerseys, white pants with maroon pinstripe, and we are underway here in Daytona Beach. The Wildcats looking to win another SWAC series. First pitch is a belt-high fastball to Miles Jackson. Last night, Jackson 2 for 3 with a hit by pitch and a run scored. He was also caught stealing. He pops one up on the infield first base side towards the bag. Stretching his glove up to make the catch is Jorge Rodriguez, and there's one away in the inning. Defensive alignment for Bethune-Cookman. Tanner Bocabello on the bump. Michael Lucena is catching. Andre Martinez at third. Eric Almonte at second. Gino Poyedo at second, and Jorge Rodriguez at first. In the outfield left to right, it's Darrell Lee, who had made one of the catches of the season last night. Chris Watson in center, and Mikey Rodriguez in right. The exact same starting lineup as last night, with the exception of Bocabello on the mound. First pitch, a strike to Bryson Hammonds. Hit a 2-run home run off a pitch that was up by his collarbone last night from Edwin Sanchez out to left field. And he hits another one in the air to left. This time it's going to stay in the yard, and Darrell Lee will have it for out number 2. So we quickly move along to the right fielder, Terrace Murray. Murray last night, 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. On the season, Murray, a junior, batting .271. 15 runs on 23 hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, and 10 batted in. Tanner Bocabello looking for a very efficient inning here. Fastball just misses down and away from Tanner, as he got through those first 2 batters on just 4 pitches. Bocabello brushes Murray back. As I said, this is the first ever Saturday start for Tanner Bocabello as a member of Bethune-Cookman. That one is laced to left center field and deep, and that ball is going to one-hop off the wall. Terrace Murray going to take a big turnaround second and retreat there, so there will be no 1, 2, 3 in the first for Boca. That's about as hard as hit a ball as you will get. Smashed in the left center field gap, and a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Here is Zach Rice, 0 for 3 last night. Strikeout, pop up, and a walk. Rice on the season batting .330, one of just 2 Alabama A&M batters in the starting lineup, batting over .300 along with the leadoff man Miles Jackson. 16 runs on 29 hits, 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 9 RBI. First pitch fastball, strike at the belt. Our umpires tonight, same crew as last night, but switched around a little bit. Anthony Green is behind the plate. Patrick Graham is at second. Christopher Vines is at third. Fouled away, 0-2 is the count on Zach Rice. Alabama A&M coming into today 8-32. Have not won a Division I game since taking 2 out of 3 against Alcorn State on the 15th of March. That one just misses low on the slider, a ball and 2 strikes to Rice. Meanwhile, the Wildcats are one of the hottest teams in the country. Have not dropped a conference series so far this weekend and have 3 straight top 50 RPI wins. Tanner Bocabello thought that was strike 3. He decided to start to walk off the mound, but it misses inside 2-2 on Rice. 3 straight top 50 RPI wins in the last 3 midweeks. USF, and then 2 ranked wins at LSU and at Florida. Slow chopper foul third base side. Zach Rice barely stays alive. But the Wildcats will get another stern test on Tuesday at home. Their final non-conference home game as the UCF Knights will come to town. Ranked number 34 in the net rankings out of the Big 12. Fastball just missed inside, full count. So a chance on Tuesday for a 4th straight top 50 RPI win for the Wildcats. Of course, you got to get there first, and these are the games that matter. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the slider down and away, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a double by Travis Murray, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the first. Alabama A&M nothing. Wildcats coming to bat. You're listening to Bethune-Cookman University Baseball on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Back at Sliwa Stadium on the campus of Embry-Riddle, we go to bottom of inning number 1 between Bethune-Cookman and Alabama A&M. A 2-out double does not come back to hurt the Wildcats as they are tied up going to the bottom of the first. Here's Darrell Lee. He'll be the first to face the starting pitcher for Alabama A&M, Evan Hurlburt. Hurlburt in his 3rd season with the Bulldogs, a senior this year. The righty deals to Lee, swinging a miss ahead of the changeup. Letter high, and it's 0-1. Evan Hurlburt, 0-3, 17 appearances. This is only his 5th start of the season. An 8.96 ERA. The 0-1 outside, 1-1. 22 1/3 innings pitched for Hurlburt. He's allowed 23 runs on 25 hits, 22 earned, striking out 17 and walking 10, with an opponent batting average of .278. Here's 1-1 to Darrell Lee. Fouled straight back, 1-2. D. Lee didn't really have to take the bat off his shoulder to do anything last night. 1 for 2, 3 free passes, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, 3 runs scored, and an RBI. He's behind at a count 1-2 on Hurlburt. And that one's down and away. Evan Hurlburt from Arvada, Colorado, freshman year at Northeastern Junior College, and then the last 3 years here at Alabama A&M. Here's his 2-2. Inside, almost hit Lee. Count goes full. Last year was his best year at a 4.85 ERA. Just 7 appearances and 13 innings pitched. Full count on Lee. And Lee watches ball 4 upstairs. So Darrell Lee has 6 at-bats in this series so far. He has walked or been hit by a pitch in 4 of them. Last night, Bethune-Cookman, in 4 of the 7 innings that were played, got the leadoff runner on, and all 4 of those leadoff runners came around to score. Here's Andre Martinez, who blasted his 6th home run of the night, or of the season, excuse me, last night, over the scoreboard in left field and almost onto the tennis courts. It was an absolute demolition of a hanging curveball. He's behind in the count 0-1. Spinning a throw back to first to try and get D. Lee. Lee 9 steals on the season. This is a Wildcats squad that really loves to steal bags. First in the SWAC in steals with 117 on the year. The 0-1 to Martinez, swinging a grounder to third, could be 2. Bobbled by the third baseman Johnson. His only play is to first to get Martinez. That's as good as a swinging bunt. Moves Lee over to second, 1 away in the inning.
Now batting number 5.
You could definitely tell that Tervel Johnson over at third wanted to turn 2, and the brain was a little bit ahead of the hands, and he bobbled that ball that was hit right at him. Here's Michael Rodriguez now. Rodriguez last night, a little bit of a tough one, 2 for 5, 2 doubles, 3 RBI, and a run scored. Lazy slider outside of the left-hand hitter, ball 1. Rodriguez on the season, a gaudy .382 batting average. 32 runs on 34 hits, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, and 26 batted in, getting on base at a team best 56.3%. He stares at D. Lee on second and 1 out. Check swing in the dirt. Third base umpire Christopher Vines says he went around, so it's 1-1 on Rodriguez. Rodriguez started last night slow, as 0 for 3 for his first 3 plate appearances, and then rattled off 2 doubles in the 6th and 7th. 1-1 from Hurlburt. Flutters into the opposite batter's box, 2-1. Bethune-Cookman enters today tied for first atop the SWAC at a 13-3 conference record. Florida A&M has already won today over Mississippi Valley State, so they are now a half game back, but can tie it up with a win tonight. The 2-1, low 3-1. Texas Southern a half game back versus their loss last night to Arkansas Pine Bluff, but they are up 7-0 on Pine Bluff in game 2 of that series. And then a game behind them is Arkansas Pine Bluff. So the top 4 teams have kind of separated themselves from the rest of the pack here in the SWAC. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Called strike just inside the letters. And it's 3-2. Second straight batter that goes to a full count. I'll get you your full around the SWAC coming up later. Here's the full count delivery. The payoff from Hurlburt. Inside, ball 4. So 2 walks in the first 3 batters of the first for Evan Hurlburt. Who does have a positive strikeout to walk ratio coming into the game. 17 strikeouts, 10 walks, but he's walked 2 of the first 3 batters he's seen. Here's Michael Lucena. Lucena last night had an inside the park home run in the first. That tied the game at 2. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the third. Then his last 2 appearances were both soft outs on the infield. 2 on, 1 out, bottom 1, scoreless game. Slider away to the righty, ball 1. Lucena on the year batting .328. 37 appearances, all starts, 125 at-bats. 27 runs, 41 hits, 4 doubles, 28 RBI. The 1-0 from Hurlburt. Fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Lucena third on the team in runs batted in behind Jeter Poyeto and Eric Almonte. That one's lined straight back up the middle on a slider. Darrell Lee's gonna try and score. He is in there. Overrunning second a little bit was Michael Rodriguez, but he gets back in there. And it's 1-0 Bethune-Cookman on the 29th RBI of the season for Michael Lucena. That's a really nice piece of hitting by Lucena. Just sat on that slow slider, poked it right back up the middle. So once again, runners on first and second, still 1 out. Here's Jeter Poyeto, who has the most RBI on the team with 36 on the year. Poyeto batting .297. 37 runs, 41 hits. First pitch to him is a swing and a drive. Deep left field. There it goes. Adios, amigos. Jeter Poyeto says, fly, fly away baseball, a 3-run blast. And it is 4-0 Bethune-Cookman in the first. He got all of that one. 5th home run of the year for Jeter. And RBI number 38, 39, and 40 on this season. Wow. Rodriguez and Lucena both score, and the Wildcats are in danger of blowing this thing apart here in the first. Still just 1 out. First pitch outside to Eric Almonte. Base is empty, 1 out for the .326 hitter Eric Almonte. The switch hitter batting left. That one caught the zone, 1-1. 31 runs, 45 hits, 10 doubles. Second on the team in doubles. 3 homers, 33 batted in for Almonte. The third baseman, Johnson, is playing close to the grass, maybe anticipating a squeeze bunt here as that ball is outside and gets away from the catcher, Mason. Defensive alignment for Alabama A&M. Hurlburt pitching, Colin Mason is the catcher. Tervel Johnson is at third, A.J. Anderson at short. Isaac Castro at second, Zach Rice at first. The 2-1. That one just low on the fastball, 3-1. In the outfield, left to right, Miles Jackson, Bryson Hammonds, and Terrace Murray. 4-0. Wildcats in the first, only 1 out. Lee and Rodriguez walked, Lucena singled up the middle, and Jeter Poyeto brought everybody in with a home run. Strike 2 called on Eric Almonte, who did lead off for most of the season for Bethune-Cookman. Has been bounced down the order over the last couple weeks as Johnny Hernandez has tinkered with the lineup and really found, I think, a place where everybody in the lineup can be successful. Here's the pitch. Check swing outside, ball 4 on a full count. A third walk of inning number 1 for Hurlburt. Still just 1 out in the inning. Here is Jorge Rodriguez, batter number 7. Rodriguez last night, 1 for 2, a walk and a hit by pitch and a run scored. Was thrown out on the base paths trying to extend a single to a double. Slider away. Eric Almonte has to retreat quickly back to first. Already 24 pitches for Hurlburt in the first. Spin and a throw back to first. The 1-0. Slider fouled straight back out of play. You could see Jorge Rodriguez. His eyes got really big. That was a similar slider to the one that Jeter Poyeto crushed the home run to left field on. In his mind's eye, he was already rounded third and coming home. Here's the 1-1. Another slow slider. Rodriguez out in front of it, tips it foul 1-2. Another really nice crowd out here at Sliwa Stadium. As the Wildcats trying to find a home away from home here for the next two homestands. A 1-2. Down and away on the sweeper. I do have to clarify, they're not at the Jack for the next two homestands. They're not here for both of them. Here this weekend, at Florida A&M next weekend, then Arkansas Pine Bluff, they'll be at the Ormond Beach Sports Complex Stadium, about 30 minutes north of here in Ormond Beach. Another full count. All three walks that the Wildcats have had in this inning have come on full counts. Hurlburt deals. That one low and away, ball 4, and 4 walks in the inning for Evan Hurlburt, all coming on payoff pitches.
Now batting, number 44, Jose Fernandez.
Here's Jose Fernandez. Struggled last night. 2 strikeouts, a fly out, and a single to left. The only Wildcat to not reach base last night was Jeter Poyeto, who was 0 for 4. Did have an RBI and a sac fly, and corrected that pretty quick today with a 3-run home run to left. We are still in the bottom of the first. The Wildcats lead 4-0 with 1 out. Darrell Lee walked. Andre Martinez grounded out to third. That was the only out of the inning. Then Rodriguez walked. Lucena hit an RBI single up the middle. Poyeto hit a 3-run home run to left. And then Almonte and Rodriguez have both walked. So 4 walks in the frame for Evan Hurlburt. First pitch to Fernandez, big swing and a miss on a slider. His 2 strikeouts last night were both against very similar sliders that ran down and away. Fernandez batting .309, the junior. 18 runs, 29 hits, 6 doubles, 5 homers, 24 RBI. Fastball down the middle, strike 2. Had a solo shot on Tuesday against Florida, one of 3 home runs the Wildcats hit in that game. Martinez, Lee, and Fernandez all got one up in Gainesville. Runners go. That one smashed foul down the third base line. Hurlburt came in with a changeup, and Fernandez was well ahead of it. Hit it hard but foul, and he stays alive 0-2. Fernandez pop fly, third base side down the line, long run for Jackson into foul territory. He will not get there as that ball one hops over the short fence down into the Wildcat bullpen. And Fernandez will see yet another 0-2 pitch. May as well get you your around the SWAC as we're still here in the first. It's 7-0 Texas Southern over UAPB in the top of the third, with Texas Southern trying to even out that series after UAPB took game 1 last night. We have 2 games that are finals already this afternoon. As once again the 0-2 to Fernandez. Line drive, foul. Third base line, Fernandez still too far out in front of it. And we'll see an 0-2 for the fourth time in this AB. Again, 2 scores final already this afternoon. Sorry, 3 scores final already this afternoon. Alabama State has taken a 2-0 series lead over Jackson State with an 8-7 thriller in Jackson, Mississippi. That one in on the hands, fouled away into the parking lot again. So we will see a 5th straight 0-2 pitch in this AB. Good AB from Fernandez. He's hit the ball hard, just not in the field of play. Got to slow down just that half second. Hit the ball between the foul lines. Here's the 0-2 again. In on the hands with another fastball fouled away. Grambling State has a 2-0 series lead over Prairie View A&M. They win 8-6. And Florida A&M got a run roll victory over Mississippi Valley State, 14-4. They lead that series 2-0. For the 5th time in this AB, the 0-2 from Hurlburt to Fernandez. That time it's hit well to left. Going back is Jackson. It's going to be a bouncer off the base of the wall. Missed a home run by 2 or 3 feet. It's going to score a run. Almonte comes in from second. Rodriguez goes from first to third, and Jose Fernandez is sitting on second with an RBI double that missed being a homer by about 3 feet. So he finally slowed up for just a smidge and put that in the field of play. Good hit by Fernandez.
Now batting number
5-0
Christopher Watson.
Here in the first, and here is the 9th batter of the inning, Chris Watson, with second and third. Just 1 out. The Wildcats will bat around. Watson, like Michael Rodriguez, has been one of those guys that have come off the bench and replaced for an injured player and just been spectacular. First pitch, strike, fastball away. Last night, Watson 2 for 4. 2 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. Second and third, still 1 out. Here's the pitch. Whoa! He went around, did Chris Watson, at that ball up by his shoe tops. And it's 0-2. That was a silly looking swing. I think Watson may have been thinking fastball away and ended up at 1 down and in. And he's down 0-2. Still just 1 out here in the first. Wildcats putting the stamp of authority on this game early and giving Tanner Bocabello a fair lead to protect on the mound. And, well, Tanner's got a lot of time to sit and think about this, as this bottom of the first has lasted a fair while. And we've got action going in the Alabama A&M bullpen already, as Hurlburt is up to 38 pitches here in the first. Watson swinging a drive deep to left field. That's going back to the track. It is going to be caught just shy of the wall by Jackson. Both runners advance. It's a sac fly RBI for Watson as Jorge Rodriguez comes in. And it is now 6-0 BCU. The Wildcats have batted around, and here is Darrell Lee. Lee now 2 outs, and Jose Fernandez 90 feet away. He walked his first time up to begin this inning. That one is scorched to right field by Darrell Lee, but it is going to be caught by Murray as it didn't get down fast enough. But the Wildcats score 6 runs on 3 hits and strand 1. And we go to the second inning. It is 6-0 Bethune-Cookman here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We go to the second. 30 minutes. Tanner Bocabello has had to sit there and think about life as he's seen his Wildcat compadres put 6 runs on the board. He'll face Isaac Castro. First pitch is a ball low and in. Castro last night, 1 for 3, singled up the middle in the 6th with an RBI attached. Fouled away, 1-1. Castro, the junior, batting .231. 7 runs, 9 hits. 1 double, 6 RBI, just 13 starts on the season. Fastball in on the hand, skied down the left field line into foul territory. And Darrell Lee's gonna get there and leap onto the tarp to stop his momentum. Well, it may not have been as impressive as the full dive he had last night to save a couple of runs, but that was still Darrell Lee. Full sprint for about 40 yards, on the move, basket catch, and runs into the tarp down the third base line. That's really impressive. I was talking to producer Lee before the game today. Fastball in on the hand, strike 1, called by KJ Stanfield. About who on this team has pro ball aspirations. And I didn't mention Darrell Lee's name. I probably should have. That one is a base hit first base side just past Poyeto. So a 1-out base runner for Alabama A&M. KJ Stanfield didn't play last night, getting only his 9th start of the season. Here's A.J. Anderson, 1 for 3 last night, double and a run scored. One on, one out, squares to bunt. First base umpire Patrick Graham, who was behind the plate last night, says that Anderson got the bunt back in time. That one is smacked down the left field line and fair into the corner. Rounding second is Stanfield. He's going to hold up at third as the throw comes in from Lee. But a single and a double by Stanfield and Anderson back to back. And Alabama A&M is in business here. I mean, there was a time last night in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings where Alabama A&M looked like they were going to come back. They'd cut the deficit down to 4 before the Wildcats raced away in the 6th and 7th. Excellent chance for the Bulldogs to get on the board here. First pitch, fouled off the end of the bat by Tervel Johnson on a fastball low and away. Johnson last night, 0 for 2, reached on an error. And was denied an RBI by one of the best catches of the season by Darrell Lee out in left. Full sprint towards the third base line, and then a full dive over the line into foul territory to make the catch. The 1-1. Slider called a strike, hit the outside corner at the front of the plate, 1-2. On Johnson. On the season, .245 batting average for the senior. Fouled it off his foot, still 1-2. 14 runs on 26 hits, 5 doubles, 2 triples. 4 homers and 27 RBI. He's tied for the team lead in runs batted in with the center fielder Bryson Hammonds. Line drive towards short and over the leaping Almonte. That'll score a run. Eric Almonte gave it a good as try as any, but that one was over his outstretched glove. Stanfield scores 3 straight hits.
Now batting number 40, Colin Mason.
Here in the second for Alabama A&M. And the Bulldogs are on the board at 6-1. Here's the 9-hole hitter, the catcher Colin Mason. Didn't play last night, getting only his 10th start of the season. 9 runs on 10 hits for Mason, batting .256 on the year. First pitch to him, fastball at the letters, strike 1. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs. Sorry, 1 home run, my apologies, and 8 RBI. Oh, and he got hit on the shoulder. Still just 1 out in the inning, and the bases are loaded. Anderson goes to third, Johnson to second, and Colin Mason over to first.
Now batting number 7, Miles Jackson.
So both pitchers having rough half innings back to back after Tanner Bocabello got cleanly through the first. Alabama A&M has put bat to ball here in the second, and they do so again. Miles Jackson is going to get 2, potentially 3 runs in here, as that one is just inside the third base bag. It's a double. It clears the bases. Anderson, Johnson, and Mason all score, and it is 6-4. Oh boy. And here comes Coach Sanchez to talk to Tanner Bocabello, who's had a rough outing after a really good first inning. This is coming off the heels of maybe Bocabello's best outing of the season last week against Mississippi Valley. 5 innings, no runs on 4 hits, 10 strikeouts. Struck out half the batters he faced in that game against Mississippi Valley. And then against Southern 2 starts ago, just 1 run on 2 hits in 5 innings. And over those 2 starts, he has lowered his ERA from 6, where it was after the Jackson State game, to 4.73, and it's going to shoot right back up. After 4 runs have already come across the plate here in the second with just 1 out. Here's Bryson Hammonds, had a home run last night, flied out to left field his first time up on a well-hit ball that just missed the track. Squaring to bunt is Hammonds. He'll take a ball 1 low. Alabama A&M in their second season under Lewis Whitlow. Popped up behind the plate and back to the screen on a bunt by Hammonds. He's just trying to move Miles Jackson over to third. Now a 1-1 count. Coach Whitlow, a graduate of Alabama A&M, was an assistant coach. In the air, left field, Darrell Lee towards the line. It drops in front of him. Six straight
now batting number 8, Harris Murray.
Have reached base for Alabama A&M on 5 hits and a hit by pitch. Runners on the corners, still 1 out. Right now, the Wildcats must be feeling the same as the Bulldogs did in the first. Just, can we get anybody out? Throw back to first, diving in safely is Hammonds. Hammonds does have the most steals on the team for Alabama A&M with 14. The Bulldogs are 3rd in the conference in total steals. As Hammonds goes, the throw down to second is in time, and Hammonds is gone. Michael Lucena caught 1 stealing last night. That was Miles Jackson. He catches Hammonds now, and Coach Whitlow is not happy. He's going to come out to argue. In real time, it did look like that tag was a little late from up here in the press box, but we do not have access to replay here at Sliwa Stadium. So that call's going to stand. 2 outs in the inning and a massive one for Michael Lucena. Now 2 away. Fastball in on their hands. Poke foul first base side by Terrace Murray. 1-1 on him. Murray doubled to left center field in the first. He's got Miles Jackson on third. Now 2 outs in the inning and 4 runs in for the Bulldogs. Fastball strike inside at the letters. '16th. Caught stealing by Michael Lucena. That ball gets to the backstop and a gift. On a wild pitch, Miles Jackson scores, and it is a 1-run game, 6-5. All Bulldogs here in this top of the second. 5 runs, 5 hits. 2 outs, bases empty now for Murray. The count is 2-2, and he swings and misses at a bell-time fastball, and that is it. But 5 runs on 5 hits, nobody left on, and we go to the bottom of the second. We could be in for an all-out offensive war this afternoon, as it is 6-5, Bethune-Cookman over Alabama A&M on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV.
Andre Martinez.
Well, both teams have put together offensive explosions. The Wildcats 6 in the first, the Bulldogs 5 in the top of the second. As we go bottom 2, Andre Martinez leads off against Evan Hurlburt, and he mashes one to left field. That is going to be one hop off the top of the wall. Neither starting pitcher is missing a ton of bats right now, as Andre Martinez lets one loose out to left field. The leadoff man on again for Bethune-Cookman.
Now batting number 5, Michael Rodriguez.
Michael Rodriguez walked and scored his first time up. Evan Hurlburt walked 4 in the first, gave up 6 runs on 3 hits. And then Tanner Bocabello didn't walk anybody, but Alabama A&M were hitting really well off him. Everything barreled up, 5 runs on 5 hits in the second for the Bulldogs. Hurlburt now faces Rodriguez with Martinez on second and nobody out. First pitch, fastball strike outside corner. Evan Hurlburt deals the 0-1. In the air, right center field. That's going to hang up in the sky. Hammonds goes over, makes the catch. Andre Martinez will advance to third standing up. Last start for
number 10, Michael Lucena.
Hurlburt didn't get very far. Last week against Alabama State, gave up 7 runs on 6 hits, all earned in just 1 2/3 innings against Alabama State. Gave up 49 through 49 pitches. Right now he's at 46 as Michael Lucena comes to the plate. RBI single his first time up. He puts one in the air to center field. Hammonds will track it, make the catch. Martinez is going to come home, and it is 7-5 Wildcats on a double and 2 sacrifices.
Now batting number 2, Jeter Poyeto.
But I can't see this as anything other than a win for Alabama A&M if they hold the Wildcats to just 1 here. If Tanner Bocabello can't come out and induce some soft contact or get some more strikeouts in the bottom of the second. Here's Jeter Poyeto at a 3-run home run to left his first time up. Slider away, ball 1. 47 pitches now for Hurlburt. He's given up 7 runs on just 4 hits with 4 walks. Wildcats lead 7-5 after a double by Andre Martinez and 2 sacrifice flies to get him in. Hurlburt being very careful with Jeter Poyeto, who launched his 5th home run of the season back in the first inning. First 2 pitches, slider away and fastball away. The 2-0 is yanked low and away again, 3-0. Alabama A&M has Jackson State, Prairie View, Florida A&M, and Southern as their Final Four conference series. The Bulldogs are also done playing midweekers. They were supposed to play the Oakwood Ambassadors this Tuesday at home. That game was canceled.
Now batting number 29, Eric Almonte.
Jeter Poyeto works a 2-out walk, and here is Eric Almonte. 5th walk given up by Hurlburt. And as I said, he was being very careful with Jeter Poyeto. Almonte walked and scored on the 3 RBI double by Jose Fernandez back in the first. First pitch to him, line drive, base hit over the second baseman's head. Poyeto moves up to second, Eric Almonte on to first. Nice little piece of hitting there by Eric Almonte, and that will be the end for Hurlburt, as he will go just an inning and 2/3 and give up 7 runs and be responsible for the 2 on base as well. The defending champs are back in Daytona Beach one more time this weekend, Sunday, April 19th at 1 p.m. as they host Alabama A&M in a SWAC series finale right here at Sliwa Stadium at Embry-Riddle. Admission is free, but if you can't make it to the park, we'll be live on youtube.com/CatEye Network or bcuathletics.com/radio. If you love Bethune-Cookman University sports, you don't want to miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs. Hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Cirillo, and featuring the expertise of Bethune-Cookman sports information staff, Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune into 1380 WELE Daytona Beach every Saturday to catch the show live or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. Unfortunately, no Hail Wildcats Radio this weekend, as Jade, Bryce, and I were scattered to the ends of the earth. Well, it feels like it. Jade was in New Orleans with tennis. Bryce was in Alabama with golf, and I was on the road in various places with baseball. So we didn't have a chance to record an episode this week. We'll be back at you on next Saturday with Hail Wildcats Radio. New pitcher for Alabama A&M. It's the senior from El Paso, Torres, and the transfer from Southeast Louisiana, Antonio Torres. Torres, a 9 ERA on the season, 0-5, 16 appearances with 3 starts and 1 save. In 28 innings pitched, he's allowed 32 runs on 25 hits, 28 earned, striking out 30 and walking 28. So a highly volatile pitcher that likes to try and paint the corners. He's allowed 6 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers, and an opponent batting average against of 2.48. Wildcats lead 7-5. There's 6 in the first, 1 here in the second. The Bulldogs responded with 5 in the top of the second. And then a walk and a single. The last 2 batters from Hurlburt. And now Antonio Torres takes over. Trying to get the Bulldogs back to the dugout, back to their hitting ways. As they knocked around Tanner Bocabello for 5 runs on 5 hits in the second. First pitch, 12-6 curve down and away to Jorge Rodriguez, who walked and scored back in the first. Torres throws, called strike, inside corner to Rodriguez. Started with 2 seasons at El Paso Community College, did Tony Torres. Originally out of Montwood High School. Was 3-1 with a 6.54 ERA last year at Southeastern Louisiana. There's that big 12-6 curve. Or a strike, a ball, and 2 strikes. Dad Antonio played college football at Eastern New Mexico at the Division II level. 1-2, down and away, 2-2. The 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 on. Rodriguez fights it off, and we'll see another pitch. Last outing for Torres was on Tuesday against Jacksonville State, went an inning to third. Gave up 2 runs on 1 hit, both earned, struck out 3, walked 3. In an inning to third. That was the game that Alabama A&M was up 5-0 after 1, but ended up losing 15-11 in a crazy back-and-forth contest. 2-2. That one is hit to left field. Going back on it is Jackson. He's going to run out of room, and it's going to bounce against the wall. Poyetto scores. Almonte scores. Both teams continue to hammer the baseball here at Sliwa Stadium this afternoon. And it is 9-5 BCU. Nice at-bat by Jorge Rodriguez. Was patient, learned the new pitcher's arsenal, and eventually sat on that curveball and hammered it over Jackson's head in left field. That curveball, big 12-6 action on it. That time a fastball low to Jose Fernandez with a 3-run double back in the first. Can be a great strength if you can bury it right at the plate and induce a lot of swings and misses. The 1-0. Poke to right field. Coming in, and Murray can't make the play. Strong throw from Murray, though, will keep Jorge Rodriguez at third base, so another single for the Cats. That was just poked off the end of the bat, little flare out to shallow right. And the inning continues as the Wildcats have gone walk, single, double, single with 2 runs scored with 2 outs here in the second. Here's Chris Watson, who had a sac fly RBI back in the first. But back on the 12-6 curveball, the benefit is if it's got good bite, like Torres's clearly does, and you can consistently bury that ball so it bounces right in front of the plate, you'll induce a lot of swings and misses, or at minimum weak contact, as hitters will hit the bottom part of the bat on the ball as it dives down. You'll force a lot of ground balls that way. But if you leave it up, so if you start it too high or you don't get enough break on it and it ends up diving into the zone, that's when you can have trouble, because with the ball coming down and meeting the bat in the middle, that ball is going to go up and out at high velocity. Maybe the biggest example of that was the Wildcats' eventual season-ending. The Bulldogs make a defensive change somewhere in right field. So Murray will depart. I wonder if he's okay. He fielded that last ball and threw it in. Kalon Parnell is now playing right field instead of Terrace Murray. But to end my story about curveballs, Yoansel Diaz was pitching for the Wildcats in the game eventually ended their season in the regional against Northeastern. And he threw a 12-6 curveball that was hammered over the center field wall for a home run, and that was the one run that the Wildcats lost by. Now Chris Watson, with runners on the corners and 2 down, will face Antonio Torres. First pitch down and in ball 1 on the fastball. I was talking to Coach Hernandez after the fact, and he said, yeah, he missed his spot. That was supposed to be in the dirt trying to force a swing and miss, and Yo-Yo missed his spot right down the middle. The ball went the other way, and that was the end of the Wildcats' run in the postseason. 1-0. Fastball down Broadway, 1-1. So now, after getting his curveball smashed to left by Jorge Rodriguez, I wonder if he'll go back to it or he'll just work with the fastball and the change here, Antonio Torres. We've seen 2 straight fastballs. There's the curveball. It bounces away from Mason but stays relatively near the plate. That'll allow Jose Fernandez to head to second. Rodriguez holds at third. And now a potential 2-run single on offer for Chris Watson, but he's ahead of the count, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Let's go, Chris, get you one.
Watson had 2 singles last night. That one, once again, a fastball bounce to the plate, 3 balls, 1 strike. Darrell Lee is on deck and will potentially bat for the 3rd time in 2 innings if Watson gets aboard and keeps this inning going. The 3-1 pitch. Check swing, called strike. And the count runs full. Now Evan Hurlburt back in the first inning walked 4 batters. All 4 of them. Ball 4 came on a 3-2 count. Let's see if Torres can do any better. Here's the payoff. Strike 3 called, down and in. Watson did not like the call as he hangs out in the batter's box and eventually tilts his head to the sky and trudges back to the dugout. But the Wildcats do tack some more runs on. 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 left. And we go to the bottom of the second. It is 9-5 Bethune-Cookman here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV.
Rice.
Tanner Bocabello, the Wildcat pitcher, is looking for a bounce-back inning after he allowed 5 runs on 5 hits in the second, but the Wildcats offense have come to play. They lead at 9-5 after 6 in the first and 3 in the second. Zach Rice will bat for the second time. He's the final Bulldog to get his second turn at bat. First pitch, slider at the knees, strike 1. Rice struck out his first time up. That ended the first inning. Both of Tanner Bocabello's strikeouts, as that's a bouncer foul, third base side 0-2, have ended the innings for Alabama A&M. Rice struck out in the first and Murray struck out in the 7th, although Terrace Murray got replaced by Parnell in right field. So we assume Parnell will bat next time the third spot of the order comes up. Fastball up 1-2. The Wildcats have a very difficult run-in at the end of conference play. Slider strike, great call, that's a beauty. Rice knew it immediately as he tilts his bat behind his head and walks back to the dugout. Third strikeout for Boca, 1 down. But this is the last series the Wildcats have played that you'd think they should really win all 3 games, although Alabama A&M is giving the Wildcats a run for their money here in Game 2 of this series. Game 3 tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Another slider strike. First pitch to Isaac Castro. Castro flew out to left field his first time up. That was a nice running catch by Darrell Lee, and he hammers that one down the line. Foul ball. Just on the left-hand side of the chalk. And once again, Alabama A&M starts to barrel up these Tanner Bocabello pitches. Another top 30 team on Tuesday night against UCF at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. That's the final home midweek game of the season for the Cats. Then the most important series of the season is next weekend. Here's the 0-2 to Castro. Long hold from Bocabello. Check swing, he went around, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Tanner. That was the sweeper into the opposite batter's box. And 2 outs in the third. Here's KJ Stanfield, who started the 6 on-base streak in the second for Alabama A&M with a single to right. But I mentioned the most important series of the season for the Wildcats is next weekend, as they'll go at Florida A&M. First pitch, ball low and inside to Stanfield. Wildcats and Rattlers tied atop the SWAC standings. The 1-0 is a changeup that Stanfield is well out ahead of. Then their second to last home series, it'll be at the Ormond Beach Sports Complex Stadium, 1-1, outside 2-1. Against Arkansas Pine Bluff. So their next 2 series are against 2 of the top 4 teams. Big cut and miss by Stanfield, 2-2. Then their last road series is against possibly the hottest team in the conference outside the Cats of the Rattlers right now, Alabama State, the 2-2. Outside, full count. And then they'll finish at home at Jackie Robinson Ballpark against Grambling State, who is middle of the pack at the moment. Part of a 3-team tie with Alabama State and Southern at 9-7. Swing and a miss. Down goes Stanfield, and Tanner Bocabello responds by striking out to side in the third. We go to the bottom of the inning. Wildcats up 9-5 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV.
Darrell Lee.
We go to the bottom of the third. Leadoff man Darrell Lee will bat. Lee starts the third time through the order for the Wildcats here in the third, as they have plated 9 runs on 7 hits. Lee in the air off the end of the bat to left center field. That's going to split the defenders, and it's going to be gone. That ball just kept carrying as the wind is blowing right to left, and it ends up leaving the yard to the right-hand side of the scoreboard. A solo shot for Lee, his 4th of the season and his 2nd of the week, gives the Wildcats a 10-5 lead. I'll tell you what, off the bat, I didn't think that was going to get out.
Andre Martinez.
But the wind blowing hard right to left gave that ball just enough juice to get over the wall. Wildcats have hit 2 home runs tonight, 1 for Poyetto, now 1 for Lee. Here's Andre Martinez, who hit 1 last night. Breaking ball upstairs, ball 1. Alabama A&M enters the day 4th from the bottom in Division I in the net rankings. Fastball low and away, ball 2. The only teams below them are Alcorn State, which Alabama A&M's 2 conference wins came from. The 2-0 from Torres. Rocket shot towards short, backhanded by Anderson to throw across in time. And Martinez is retired 1 away. Then the 2 teams at the bottom of the net, 303 and 304, is St. Peter's, is 303. And a team that the Wildcats have seen already this season, Delaware State, is the bottom team in the net rankings at 304. They are 3-31, Delaware State. All 3 wins have come in the NEC. Breaking ball into the zone for strike 1 against Michael Rodriguez. Walked and scored in the first, flew out to center in the second. Rodriguez watches one that's bounced to the plate. Ricochets to the backstop. But of the bottom 7 in RPI in the country, 3 of them are SWAC schools, and 6 of them are HBCUs. The other one's former MEAC schools now playing in the NEC. Breaking ball high at the collarbone. 2 balls and a strike on Rodriguez. Coppin State, Prairie View, Maryland Eastern Shore, Alabama A&M, Alcorn, and Delaware State make up 6 of the bottom 7 in the country in the net rankings. 2-1. Fastball strike inside corner, bell tie, 2-2. Wildcats far and away the best team in the SWAC in the net rankings. In the top 100 at 94 as Rodriguez stays alive with a foul ball. The next closest one to him is at 203. That's Alabama State. Florida A&M 215 in the net rankings. Once again, the 2-2 from Antonio Torres to Michael Rodriguez after a long hold from the windup. Rodriguez leans away from a curveball, and it's a full count. That's a tough one to take. Full count. Rodriguez, chopper towards short, fielded deep in the hole by Anderson. Quick trigger to first. Got him by half a step. 2 away in the inning, and here is Michael Lucena, who has
now batting, number
a
10,
single,
Michael Lucena,
a fly out to center, and 2 RBI. Brought Lee in the first with his single, then brought Martinez in the second with a sac fly. as the conference standings currently sit, Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M are tied at the top 13-3. Texas Southern 12-4, Arkansas Pine Bluff 11-5 at the top 4. Then a bit of a gap to a tie between Alabama State Southern and Grambling State, all at 9-7, the 1-0. Fastball high 2-0. Then Mississippi Valley State at 7-9. They're a game up on Jackson State at 6-10. Then a long way back to Prairie View at 3-13. And Alabama A&M and Alcorn State both at 2-14. Spiked by Torres, 3-0. If the season ended today, Jackson State would miss the playoffs and Mississippi Valley State would be the 8th seed. Of course, still there's a lot of baseball left to play. Fastball down the middle, strike one on Michael Lucena. The 3-1. Called strike two. Lucena didn't like it. He was already on his way to first. Jackson State still has Mississippi Valley to play. It has to be the second to last week of the season. It's at Mississippi Valley State, so potentially a really important series there. Line drive right center field. That's a base hit from Michael Lucena. Takes a big turn at first and will retreat back. So Lucena doesn't get the walk. He says, well, watch this.
Now
he gets a two-out single. Wildcats scored 2 of the 3 runs they got in the second with 2 outs. Let's see if they can get a little 2-out rally going here. Here's Judah Poyeto, a 3-run home run in the first, and then walked and scored in the second. Came home on the RBI double by Jorge Rodriguez. The nod and the pitch. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss. Gita Poyeto was trying to send that one to the moon, just like Artemis 2. But he came up empty, 0-1. Evan Hurlbert started the game, went an inning and 2/3, was replaced by Antonio Torres, who's now on the mound. Curveball upstairs, 1-1. 3 games done in the SWAC today. Grambling State 8, Prairie View 6, Alabama State 8, Jackson State 7. One from Torres. Poyeto watches it low, 2-1. Florida A&M 14, Mississippi Valley State 4. That's the same score as these two teams put up last night with the Wildcats winning game 1. Southern and Alcorn currently underway. No score reporting from Lorman, Mississippi. Southern won last night. And they're in a delay in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It has been raining pretty much all day out there, but it is 7-0 Texas Southern at the top of the 3rd. As that game is in a delay. They barely got the game started, as I was seeing on social media before we started here today. The weather pretty much perfect here in Daytona Beach. 3-1 from Torres. Off the end of the bat, fouled onto the softball field behind the first base dugout. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 88 degrees at first pitch and clear with the wind blowing right to left at about 8 miles an hour. As the Bulldogs and the Wildcats have put on an offensive show, 10-5. Here in the bottom of the 3rd, Wildcats looking for more with 2 outs and a runner on first. After a pitch clock reset, here's the 3-2. Torres misses low, and that's ball 4. Poyedo walks for the second time today, and once again the inning continues with 2 outs.
Now batting number 29, Eric Almonte.
Here's Eric Almonte. Walked and scored in the first, then singled and scored in the second. Eric Almonte. Alabama A&M pitching. Hurlburt and Torres have combined to walk 6 batters and strike out just 1. That was Chris Watson at the end of the last inning. First pitch, slider inside, ball 1. Michael Lucena on second, Cheater Poyedo on first with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Darrell Lee led off the inning with a solo shot to left center. Then Martinez and Michael Rodriguez both grounded out to short. That one, 12-6 curve outside 2-0. Before Lucena singled to right center and Poyedo walked. The way that Alabama A&M is hitting the ball today, I don't think the Wildcats will be satisfied with any amount of runs put up on the board. Torres right now struggling to find the strike zone as that one misses way down and away in the opposite batter's box, 3-0. Jorge Rodriguez, who had a 2 RBI double back in the second, is lurking on deck should Eric Almonte reach base. He's ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Late strike call by Anthony Green, fastball at the knees, 3-1. I'd still be thinking about taking this if I were Almonte, not being too aggressive, as Torres has struggled with his command in this inning. 3-1, outside and low, good take by Almonte, so a single and 2 walks, load him up. Wildcats looking to do more damage here in the third. Jorge Rodriguez, 1 for 1 with a walk. A 2 RBI double in the second, scored a run after he walked in the first. And that'll be the end for Antonio Torres. He gets exactly 9 batters, and we will see a new Alabama A&M pitcher. You have one more chance to catch Bethune-Cookman softball at Sunnyland Park this softball season. Friday, April 24th, they'll host Alabama A&M for a SWAC matchup at 5 p.m. the start of senior weekend for the Wildcats. Admission is free. We'll have every moment on youtube.com/CatEye Network or bcuathletics.com/radio. So Torres goes 1 complete. Bases 9, throws 42 pitches, gives up 1 run on 4 hits, walks 2, strikes out 1. But he, of course, is responsible for all 3 runners on base, so that runs allowed number could change very quickly. And the new pitcher for Alabama A&M is Bryce Dolce, the senior out of Crestview, Florida, the transfer from Bishop State Community College 2 years ago, in his second year now with the Bulldogs. He's 0-1, 14 appearances with an 8.82 ERA, Dolce. He does have 1 save on the season, 16 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 18 runs on 19 hits, 16 earned, striking out 12 and walking 13. Dolce has allowed 6 doubles, 1 triple, no homers, and an opponent batting average of .292. Last year in 20 appearances, he was 0-1 with an 8.31 ERA. The one result he was responsible for was a 10-6 loss to Alcorn State, the one game in that series that Alcorn won back on the 15th of March. His last appearance was just a third of an inning against Alcorn State, but he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. Didn't strike down anybody and walked 2. Last weekend, saw an inning and a third of work against Alabama State, allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. Walked 1, struck out 1. Side-arming righty comes with a slider, and it's outside to Jorge Rodriguez for ball 1. Dolce from Crestview, Florida. That one a fastball in the zone, strike 1. Bishop State Community College in Mobile, Alabama is where he played his first 2 college seasons. Listed at 6'1", 195. A 1-1 count on Rodriguez with the bases loaded, 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Rodriguez watches that slider flutter into the opposite batter's box. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wildcats up by 5, but have been out hit today. 6-5 by Alabama A&M. That one in the air to center field. Charging in his Hammonds. He will make the catch on the move, and the Wildcats strand 3. 1 run, 2 hits, and the Wildcats leave the bases loaded. We go to the 4th. It is 10-5 Bethune-Cookman over Alabama A&M here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We go to the 4th. Tanner Bocabello looking for some consistency on the mound. He struck out the side and got him to go 1-2-3 back in the 3rd. The Wildcats lead the Alabama A&M Bulldogs 10-5. All 5 runs for AAMU came on 5 hits in the 2nd. First pitch, ball 1, low and inside to A.J. Anderson. Had a double down the left field line back in the 2nd. That one, a slider, caught the outside corner, 1-1. Coming into the inning, Bocabello had thrown 50 pitches exactly. Right back up the middle, that's gonna be caught, and a throw to first is gonna dribble. Oh, it's gonna dribble past everybody and towards the bullpen, so safe at first is Anderson on an infield single up the middle. Really tough play by Poyeto. Really nice job to pick that one behind the bag. But his momentum was taking him towards the third base side. And his throw was to first on a couple of hops, got by Rodriguez. Here comes Alabama A&M again. That big rally in the 2nd was started by the bottom of the order. So A.J. Anderson, Tervell Johnson, and Colin Mason. Here is Johnson, singled his first time up to left and scored. Slider outside, ball 1. Bocabello, as I mentioned, 50 pitches at the start of this inning, averages 73.3 per appearance, so he is probably getting towards his last inning. There's a wild pitch, free base for A.J. Anderson. He'll go to second. Second wild pitch of the game for Bocabello. First one allowed Miles Jackson to score from second, the fifth and final run of the second inning for Alabama A&M. Bocabello, who had not thrown a wild pitch on the season coming into today, now has 2 in 3 innings. Up and in, ball 3. As Tanner Bocabello continues to be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on the mound today. That one a strike at the knees, 3-1. His first inning, Jekyll, 2 pop-ups, a strikeout. As there's ball 4. The second inning, Hyde, 5 runs, a hit by pitch, a wild pitch, and 5 runs allowed. And now it looks like we are back to Hyde here in the 4th with a single on the infield and a walk to the first 2 batters. And here's the 9-hole hitter, Colin Mason, who was hit by a pitch his first time up and ended up coming around to score on the single by Jackson. Fastball strike, go to third. That is a beautiful throw. When will they learn? You cannot run on Michael Lucena. That's 2 caught stealings so far tonight, 17 on the season for the Wildcat catcher. First pitch, well, there's a strike, sorry, that's 0-2 on Mason. That first pitch was called a strike. A.J. Anderson caught stealing. Fly ball, shallow left. Lee comes on, makes the catch on the move for out number 2. How good has Darrell Lee been the last couple of weeks, specifically defensively?
Now batting number 7, Miles Jackson.
Now Miles Jackson, who's 1 for 2. An RBI double in the second. Scored on a wild pitch later in that inning and then popped out on the infield in the first to lead off the game. He's got Tervel Johnson on first, now 2 outs after the caught stealing. And that's a balk. Tanner Bocabello called for the balk, so Tervel Johnson will get second base. That's the first time Bocabello has balked this season. Fastball outside. In the air, left field, Lee tracking, and he'll make the catch over his shoulder to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. The Wildcats lead 10-5 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV.
number 44, Jose Fernandez.
To the bottom of the fourth we go here in Daytona Beach on the campus of Embry-Riddle at Sliwa Stadium. Jose Fernandez leads off for the Cats. It'll be 8-9-1 in the order. Bryce Dolce begins his first full inning on the mound for the Bulldogs after he came in to get the final out of the third. Dolce. 1-1 on Fernandez, who's 2 for 2. RBI double back in the first, single to right in the second. Sun going down behind the third base side here in Daytona Beach, 3-2. Breaking ball, strike three. Slider and a beauty at the knees. And Watson gets punched out, his second strikeout looking of the game. And there's 2 away. First time the Wildcats have gone out to begin an inning today. In fact, the first time the leadoff man has not gotten a board for the Wildcats in the game. Here's D. Lee, already his 4th at-bat of the game. He's 1 for 2, a solo home run in the third over the left center field wall. Walked and scored in the first and flew out to right also in the first as the Wildcats batted around. He was the final out of that inning, down and in, ball 1. 1-1 the count on Lee. Lee, one of 6 seniors in the starting 9 tonight for the Wildcats. He pops this one up to center field. Hammonds all the way to his left. And backed up by Jackson makes the catch. The Wildcats for the first time tonight go 1-2-3. We go to the 5th. Still 10-5 Bethune-Cookman here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. To the 5th inning we go here in Daytona Beach. We're at Sliwa Stadium on the campus of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, a Division II program. First pitch swinging from Bryson Hammonds. High fly ball down the left field line. Darrell Lee snags that one. He's got 3 straight putouts across the inning break, and there's 1 away. Tanner Bocabello still on the hill. 1 pitch, 1 out there from Tanner. That was pitch number 65 of the game for Bocabello. I said that last inning might be his final inning, but then he got clean through it assisted by a caught stealing by Michael Lucena on A.J. Anderson over at third base. Nobody warming up that I can see in the Wildcat bullpen right now, as Bethune-Cookman leads by 5. Outside of that blip of a second inning where Bocabello gave up 5 runs on 5 hits, outside of that, only 2 hits allowed and just 3 base runners. Outside of that second inning, as the Wildcats lead 10-5. A 1-ball, 1-strike count on Terrace Murray, who's 1 for 2, a double and a strikeout. There's a swing and a miss, 1-2. Shout out to Bethune-Cookman softball. They split the doubleheader with Alabama State, take 2 out of 3 from the Hornets, and 5 out of 6 on the season over Alabama State. They are firmly ensconced in 3rd place now in the SWAC East Division on the softball side. The 1-2 outside, looking for the chase, didn't get it, 2-2. My apologies, this is not Terrace Murray, this is Keelan Parnell. Parnell replaced Murray in right field back in the 3rd inning. Parnell, the lefty, here's the 3-2. Outside ball 4, and he walks. So Bocabello's second walk of the day.
Now batting number 10, Zach Rice.
And with 1 away, more traffic on the base paths for Alabama A&M. Here's Zach Rice. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. That puts Bethune-Cookman softball, as I said, firmly ensconced at 3rd in the conference standings. 1 game behind Jackson State at 14-8. Jackson State 15-6. The Wildcats will close their regular season next weekend at home with a 3 spot against Alabama A&M, who's 6-16. The Wildcats swept the Bulldogs earlier this season. And if they do their job against Alabama A&M, I'm talking about the softball team next weekend, Jackson State is at Florida A&M for their final conference series. Wildcats could jump Jackson State into 2nd place going into the SWAC tournament. Breaking ball low, 2 balls, 1 strike to Zach Rice. So a big shout out to softball. Their big series win this weekend. Rice off the end of the bat, high fly ball down the first base line, well foul and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zach Rice, the senior out of Lawrence, South Carolina, started his college career at Barry University in Miami. They're in the same conference as Embry-Riddle is in Division II, the Sunshine State Athletic Conference. In the air to right, straight at Mikey Rodriguez, who backs up 3 steps and makes the catch for out number 2. Now it'll be Isaac Castro.
17, Isaac Castro.
Castro is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a terrific catch by Darrell Lee in foul territory, where he caught the ball and almost flipped over the tarp down the 3rd base line. So we've got some standing around going on in the Wildcat bullpen now. No throwing yet. As Tanner Bocabello's 77th pitch is a strike to Castro. Bocabello averages 73.3 pitches per appearance this season. Check swing, no go, says first base umpire Patrick Graham. And it's 1-1 on Castro. Bocabello has thrown upwards of 104 pitches this season. Breaking ball low, 2-1. That was in a 6-inning, 3 runs on 6 hits outing against Alcorn State, a game the Wildcats won 14-3. Upstairs, 3-1. As Boca over the last 2 innings has started to lose his command just a tad. Challenges him with a fastball, pop up to shallow right. Michael Rodriguez makes the play. Nothing on no hits, a walk and one left, and we go to the bottom of the fifth. Wildcats still up by 5 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV.
Number 36, Andre Martinez.
Andre Martinez leads off the bottom of the fifth for Bethune-Cookman. They are ahead of Alabama A&M 10-5. All 10 runs for the Wildcats scored in the first 3 innings. All 5 runs for the Bulldogs scored in the second. In this second of a 3-game series here from Sliwa Stadium at Embry-Riddle. Oh, Andre Martinez wears that one on the belt. Martinez 1 for 3. A double and a run scored back in the second, has grounded out to the left-hand side twice, once to third, once to short. That time he gets hit by the first pitch he saw.
Now batting number 5, Michael Rodriguez.
Now here's Michael Rodriguez, 0 for 2, a walk and a run scored back in the first. Other than that, a fly out to center and a ground out to short. The left-hander, Bryce Dolce, is still on the hill. An inning and a third so far, 18 pitches, 1 strikeout. A big swing and a miss. The ball gets away. The throw down to second is not in time, as Andre Martinez will take second base. Not a bad idea by Wells to try and pick that one up off the blue ribbon of concrete that says Eagles behind the home plate. Try and throw to get Martinez, who's, I'll say this nicely, not the quickest guy on planet Earth. But an advance on a wild pitch there as Rodriguez takes a strike, 1 and 2. Michael Rodriguez, 2 for 4 last night, 2 doubles, 3 RBI. Down and away, 2 and 2. Then against Florida on Tuesday, 1 for 4, but did have an RBI single in the 7-run 7th inning that the Wildcats had against the Gators to blow that game open. They eventually took it 13-7 for their second straight SEC win in a midweek. Rodriguez tries to grab and push that one into play that was inside by his belt buckle. He ends up pushing it foul, and it's 2 and 2. Wildcats have beat LSU and the Florida Gators in back-to-back midweeks and have a chance for 4 straight midweek wins on Tuesday as UCF comes to town. That'll be at Jackie Robinson Ballpark on Tuesday night. The 3-2 to Rodriguez from Dolce. Fouled away. Third base side will do it again. Full count. No outs here in the 5th. Rodriguez waits on the changeup and ticks it foul. We'll see the 3-2 again. UCF ranked number 21 in the country. Rodriguez fights off another fastball on the hands, 3-2 still. So if they can get over the Knights on Tuesday, it would be 3 straight ranked wins on midweekers. Of course, you got to get there and do it first. UCF 21-13 on the year, but currently trailing Cincinnati 4-1. Rodriguez, swing and a miss, strike 3. Changeup dropped away from him. Second strikeout for Dolce, third overall for Alabama A&M pitching. The first Wildcat to strike out that's not named Chris Watson.
10, Michael Lucena.
And here's Michael Lucena, who's had a really fantastic night so far. RBI single in the first, RBI sac fly in the second, and a single in the third. So 2 for 3, 2 RBI and a run scored for Lucena. Big gap on the first base side as Castro is covering the bag. Andre Martinez takes a 1-out leadoff second. Breaking ball low, ball 1. UCF beat Cincinnati last night, but are trailing 4-1 right now. That's in Orlando. That one gets away again to the third base side, and Wells will eat it as a second straight wild pitch will allow Martinez to go from first to third now. So now with 1 out, Lucena can pick up an RBI by putting the ball in the air somewhere. Or with his 3rd hit of the game. Dolce deals. Outside 3-0. Wildcats have walked 7 times tonight, but Dolce has not walked anybody yet. He's behind 3-0 to Lucena, though. Strike outside corner and low, 3-1. Although I would not be surprised if the take sign is on once again here for Michael Lucena. Lucena swings and dribbles it up the middle. That's going to score the run. The throw to first from short is in time. That one was dribbled right back up the middle. Dolce, having finished his windup, could not recover and grab the ball, so it slithered to short. Anderson makes the play. But home comes Martinez, and the Wildcats extend their lead to 8-5. Now 2 out, nobody on. Here's Jeter Poyeto. Been on base all 3 times. A 3-run homer in the first, a walk and a run scored in the second, and a walk in the third. This time he swings and bounces it foul, about a foot outside the third base bag. If you haven't seen it yet, and you're watching us on the CatEye Network on YouTube, you can go into the videos tab on the CatEye Network page and watch the introductory press conference for new women's basketball head coach, Demetria Frank. Excited to have a BCU legend back on campus to lead our women's basketball program. Here's the 1-1. Way outside and low, 2-1. Michael Lucena has 2 caught stealings tonight from his place behind home plate for the Wildcats. Here's the 2-1. That is laced but fouled on the third base line, 2-2 on Poyeto. He now leads the conference in caught stealing by, excuse me, 19 on the year, ahead of Marcellus Clark with 15. Dolce trying to give up just 1 here in the 5th. Poyeto trying to start another 2-out rally. Here's the 2-2 way outside, full count. Dolce, 2 full innings, has gone the longest of anybody innings-wise for Alabama A&M, but have only faced 7 batters, been very efficient, 32 pitches. Here's number 33. Ground ball towards short, deep in the hole, fielded by Anderson. The throw across. In time, barely, to get Jeter Poyeto. Poyeto was assured that he was safe. The Wildcat crowd do not agree with the call by first base umpire Patrick Graham, but that's the end of the inning. A run on no hits and nobody left. The sacrifice ground by ball. Lucena gets Martinez home, and the Wildcats increase their lead to 11-5 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV.
For the Bulldogs, number 23, KJ Stanfield.
Designated hitter KJ Stanfield leads off for Alabama A&M as we hit the top of the 6th inning. 11-5 Wildcats. All 5 Bulldogs runs coming in the second. KJ Stanfield, 1 for 2. A single, a run scored back in the second, and a strikeout in the third. First pitch outside, ball 1. Tanner Bocabello still on the hill. That was pitch number 82 for Boca. Plenty of action going in the Alabama A&M bullpen, but outside of the 5-run on 5-hit inning for Alabama A&M in the second, Bocabello has allowed just 2 hits and 4 base runners. Strike on a 3-1 count to Stanfield. 3 balls, 1 strike. And I say for the 3rd straight inning, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Boca's last inning if he struggles. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss, full count. Boca deals. Ups and out, ball 4. 3rd walk of the game for Bocabello. And once again, traffic on the base paths for Alabama A&M. A.J. Anderson has one of the 2 Alabama A&M hits outside of the second inning. He's 2 for 2. An RBI double in the second and a single up the middle in the 4th. He was caught stealing in the 4th inning by Michael Lucena as he tried to go from 2nd to 3rd. Breaking ball low and away, ball 1. Quick throw back to first. KJ Stanfield didn't get that big of a lead. Only 1 steal on the season for Stanfield. So I wouldn't expect him to be a steal threat. Slider away. Ball 2. Ground ball to second. Poyeto the flip. Almonte the turn. Double play. Really nice job by the Wildcat infield. And there's 2 outs now and nobody on.
Number 33, Travell Johnson.
And here's Travell Johnson, 1-for-1 with a walk. Scored in the second when he singled to left and then walked in the fourth and was stranded on second. 4-6-3 double play turned by the maroon and gold. First pitch, strike called to Johnson. Wildcats lead the SWAC in double plays turned by a fair margin. That was their 40th on the season. Really nice frame job by Lucena there to get the strike call. A ball and 2 strikes on Johnson. And Eric Almonte leads the SWAC in double plays turned. That was his 32nd on the year. That was strikeout number 6 for Tanner Bocabello as Johnson goes down. 1, 2, 3 go the Bulldogs. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Wildcats lead 11-5 on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV.
Number 29, Eric Almonte.
Eric Almonte leads off for the Wildcats as we hit the bottom of the 6th. A 6-run lead for the maroon and gold. 11-5 over Alabama A&M. Wildcats have scored in all but 1 inning. That was when they went 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. Bryce Dolce still on the hill for the Bulldogs. First pitch to Almonte. Sweeper up and in, ball 1. Almonte been on base all 3 times tonight. 2 walks and a single to right back in the 2nd. That one a changeup down. 2-0. Night descends on Daytona Beach as we're just past the 8 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. The floodlights are on here at Sliwa Stadium. The 2-0 outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Dolce trying not to lose Almonte. He fakes the bunt and takes ball 4 up and in. So a leadoff walk, the 3rd of the game for Almonte. And he'll pass the bat to Jorge Rodriguez, who is 1 for 2. And RBI double back in the second, walked and scored in the first, and flew out to center in the third. That was when the bases were loaded with 2 outs in the third, so had a chance to really do some damage, didn't take it, because the Wildcats only got 1 in that inning on the Darrell Lee solo home run. Dolce deals low. 5 straight balls to begin the inning for Dolce. He's now gone 2 1/3, 42 pitches, allowed just 1 run on no hits, struck out 2. Big swing and a miss from Rodriguez on the down low curveball. Action going in the Alabama A&M bullpen, but Dolce has come out and settled this thing down for the Bulldogs. More so than the first 2 pitchers, Hurlbert and Torres, who allowed 9 hits and 10 runs between them. 9 of them credited to Hurlbert in an inning and 2/3 on 5 hits, 5 walks, no strikeouts. He faced 15 batters and 9 of them came across to score. Throw back to first, and caught in the middle of a rundown is Eric Almonte. He dodges, tries to go back to first, and he is tagged out. So 1 away in the inning for the Wildcats as Eric Almonte got caught in no man's land. That last pitch was called a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on Rodriguez, who now bats with the bases empty. That one inside almost hit him. 2-1. Correction, 3-1. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/BCU Wildcats. That is ball 4, 2 straight walks to start the inning for Dolce. After the rundown to get Almonte, 1 on 1 out. Here's Jose Fernandez, who's 2 for 3. RBI double back in the first.
Now batting number
Single to
44,
right
Jose
in the
Fernandez.
second, and he popped out behind the plate to the catcher in the fourth. And this may be the end for Dolce. We'll have a meeting on the mound. Just players right now, no coaches. We have not seen the appearance of Lewis Whitlow or his pitching coach, Mark Hernandez. The third coach on the AAMU staff is Desmore Joseph. Vincent Latimer and Stacy McWilliams, the affiliate staff for Alabama A&M. Just a players-only meeting there. No coaches involved. Fernandez now stands in. And Dolce will throw pitch number 48 of his innings. And that pitch is hanging a drive to left. High and deep. Back toward the wall, and it is gone. Adios, amigos. Third home run of the night for Bethune-Cookman. Jose Fernandez ties Andre Martinez with home run number 6 on the year. And the Wildcats are up 13-5. That was an absolute no-doubter. And for the second time this weekend, the Wildcats have hit a home run over the scoreboard in left field. And now that rundown for Almonte looms pretty large because he could have been the third run in if he hadn't got caught stealing. And that should be the end for Bryce Dolce, as here comes head coach Lewis Whitlow. Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest, now featuring all new items. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel, bcuathletics.com, and click on shop. You can stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU baseball, follow at BCU Diamondcats on X and Instagram. New pitcher for Alabama A&M is Brady Baxter, the right-handed junior out of Danville, Kentucky, and the transfer from Marshall. Baxter is 1-2, 10 appearances with 6 starts, 23 1/3 innings pitched on the year with a 13.50 ERA. He's allowed 40 runs on 42 hits, 35 earned, striking out 13 and walking 18. Striking out 23 rather, and walking 18. He's allowed 4 doubles, 1 triple, 5 homers, and has an opponent batting average of a gaudy .372. He's thrown 8 wild pitches, hit 9 batters. And once again, his ERA is 13.50. His last appearance was 2 innings last weekend against Alabama State, where he gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 1. His lone win on the season came against the UIC Flames, Illinois Chicago, back in the non-conference on the 1st of March. We threw 5 innings, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits, struck out 3.
Let's go, Chris. Let's go, Chris.
So Brady Baxter is the 4th pitcher of the game for Alabama A&M. The righty's first pitch, the fastball to Chris Watson, who's 0 for 3, a sac fly RBI in the first, and then 2 strikeouts looking in the second and 4th. Brady Baxter started his career at Marshall in the Sun Belt Conference. And then before that was at Danville High School in Kentucky. Timeout called. Coach CatEye going over to talk to Christopher Watson. Missed the entirety of the 2024 season due to an injury. Brady Baxter ended up taking a red shirt and then made just 2 appearances out of the bullpen as a freshman. And missed the rest of the season due to an injury, so missed almost the entirety of his first 2 college seasons due to injury. But it was a perfect game All-American, a .224 ERA as a senior at Danville High School in Kentucky. Chris Watson, after the timeout by Coach CatEye, stands in. Fastball low and away, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, yanked low and away from the righty Chris Watson, 2-2. Real herky-jerky motion for Baxter, reaches well behind his back and then whips his arm forward, almost sidearm style. He misses that one low on a breaking ball, 3-2. So Watson has hung in there, and from an 0-2 count has battled back to a payoff pitch situation now from Baxter. 2 already in on the inning with a 2-run home run by Jose Fernandez. Chris Watson walks. He's on base for the first time tonight. Nice AB by Watson, very patient.
Darrell Lee.
And now Darrell Lee will bat for the 5th time tonight. We're only in the 6th inning. Lee walked and scored in the first today. Solo home run to left in the 3rd. And then flew out to center in the 4th. 1 out in the inning. And Chris Watson on first. The pitch to Lee is a fastball strike to the knees. In a closer game, I would expect some small ball here from Lee and Watson. Watson 6 steals on the season. Lee, one of the faster guys on the team. But when you're up 13-5, there's not really a need for that kind of thing. I saw, Boston College get some flack, as that's a fastball up by the neck of Darrell Lee. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. Yeah, Boston College was still stealing. I think they were playing Virginia Tech last weekend. They were still stealing with up by 10 runs, and people on social media were debating the ethics of that. Ball low and inside, full count on D. Lee. And I'm not sure where I stand on it. The full count delivery to Lee from Baxter. Lee swings and grounds it through the left-hand side. There was a big hole right there because Anderson was shading over towards second base, playing Lee as a pull hitter. And Lee just knocks that one opposite field for a base hit. Chris Watson was able to get all the way to third with his speed. Now Andre Martinez will bat. 1 for 3, a double and a run scored in the second. 2 ground outs to the left-hand side. Was hit by a pitch and then came in the 5th on 2 sacrifices. Runners on the corners, 1 out here in the 6th. First pitch, slider. Away ball, 1 to the righty. Andre Martinez has seen 3 of his compatriots go yard tonight. You know he wants one too. Had a mammoth home run last night. Swings and fouls it back. 1-1. Already 2 in the inning on the Jose Fernandez 2-run shot. Everybody that has come to the plate for the Wildcats has reached base successfully. Down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Eric Almonte, the only out of the inning, as he was caught stealing in a rundown situation after walking to lead off the inning. Here's the 2-1. Martinez corks one high and deep down the left field line. That is going to be foul. Didn't even have home run distance. As Martinez got a little bit underneath that one. Got to try and put one in play here with a runner 90 feet away and 1 out. The pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second is not even going to be contested. Lee up to second on a steal. Bethune-Cookman trying the old double steal trick to try and squeeze a runner home. Alabama A&M not falling for it. Castro caught that fastball from Wells behind the plate in front of the second base bag and stared Chris Watson back to third. Now full count on Martinez. Here's the payoff from Baxter. Tipped it straight onto the mask of Wells, and we'll do the full count again. Brady Baxter trying to keep the Wildcats from pouring more runs in here in the 6th inning. Martinez strikes out. Change up inside corner. 2 away in the inning. That's a nice pitch with Martinez thinking down and away. Got the reigning SWAC Player of the Year all crossed up. If the Wildcats hang on and win tonight, Johnny Hernandez would pass Mervel Melendez for second all-time in wins as a BCU baseball head coach. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes to Michael Rodriguez. Rough night for Mikey, 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Down and in. 3 balls, no strikes. Still second and third, now 2 outs. That time down the middle, strike 1. 3-1. In the air to center field. That one's going to get through for a base hit. Scoring is Watson. In from second is Lee. 2 of the faster Wildcats on the team come home. A 2 RBI single from Michael Rodriguez, right back where it came from. And the Wildcats have reached run rule territory here in the 6th. It's 15-5.
Now batting number 10, Michael Lucena.
Watson scores, Lee scores, 4 in the frame for the Cats. A win tonight for Jonathan Hernandez would be win number 180 in his Wildcat career, would move him past Mervel Melendez for number 2 all-time. That one popped up first base side on the infield. Michael Lucena is retired, and that's the end of the inning with 4 runs on 3 hits and 1 left aboard. We go to the 7th. The Wildcats 3 outs away now from wrapping this one up as they lead 15-5 on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. For the first time tonight, the Wildcats will go to the bullpen as Giancarlo Zambrano will take over for tenor Bocabello. Zambrano, the senior from Caracas, Venezuela, now in his 2nd season in maroon and gold. Started his college career at Barry University at the Division II level in the SSC. On the season, a straight 5 even ERA for Zambrano. 6 appearances, 1 save. 9 innings pitched, allowed 7 runs on 10 hits. 5 earned, striking out 13 and walking 7. He's allowed 2 doubles, no triples, no homers with a batting average against of .270.
Leading off for the Bulldogs, number 6, Devontae Wells.
The Wildcats 3 outs away now from a second straight run rule in this series after they have pushed the lead to 15-5. Zambrano spikes his first pitch to the plate against Devontae Wells, who bats for the first time tonight after taking over defensively for Colin Mason. One ball, one strike now. Wells last night, 0 for 2 with a walk. Strikeout and a pop-up on the infield. Breaking ball popped up behind the plate. Lucena back toward the screen, and that'll be onto the roof. So a ball and 2 strikes now on Wells. John Zambrano had a career-defining outing as that one's fouled away to the first base side. Giving chase is Rodriguez. He won't get there. And it's still 1-2. Against LSU, the game on the line, and the Wildcats up by 4. Bases loaded, nobody out. He came in and struck out the top 3 in the LSU order. Boom, boom, boom. To preserve the Wildcats' lead, they would go on to win the game 10-7. He would pick up the save in that one. Then on Tuesday, came in, pitched an inning against Florida. Didn't have the same stuff. Oh, that was a wicked curveball. Outside and low, and Wells had no chance. Strikeout number 1 on the night for Zambrano, 1 away in the 7th. Against UF, just 1 inning, gave up 3 runs on 2 hits. Walked 2, didn't strike out anybody. Wildcats, of course, still won the game 13-7. First pitch, fastball in on the hands, fouled away by Miles Jackson, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Popped up on the infield in the first, doubled to left and scored in the second. He was the final of the 5 runs that the Bulldogs played in that second inning, then flied out to left in the 4th, pitch low, ball 1. Zambrano started the season in the opening weekend against Bradley, where he pitched a 1/3 of an inning. That's yanked to the plate, 2-1. But then didn't pitch again for over a month. Came back against Alcorn State, and then has pitched once a week just about since then. Averaging about an inning and 2/3. The 3 innings against LSU was the longest outing of the year for him. Fastball tipped back to the roof, and it's 2-2 on Jackson. Zambrano deals. Ground ball towards 3rd, backing up Martinez, snags it belt high, throw across the diamond. In time, it got him, what a play! Tremendous job by Andre Martinez. Fielded almost on the outfield grass at 3rd. And his strong throw across gets Jackson by half a step. Alabama A&M down to their final out. Here's Bryson Hammonds, who's 1 for 3. Breaking ball, strike, going 1. A single to left in the 2nd. He was caught stealing. And then 2 flyouts to left that were caught by Darrell Lee. Breaking ball, not sure where that missed, but home plate umpire Anthony Green says it did, 1-1. These 2 teams will square off one more time this season tomorrow at 1 p.m. here at Sliwa Stadium on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Pop up, shallow center field. Going out is Poyeto. He calls off Watson, and this one belongs to the maroon and gold. A little blip in the 2nd, but the Wildcats dominate other than that. 15-5, the Wildcats win it. They move to 2-0 in the series over Alabama A&M. 28-11 overall and 14-3 in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Alabama A&M falls to 8-33, 2-15 in the SWAC. It was all bats all the time for the Wildcats today, as they score 6 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth, and 4 in the sixth to beat Alabama A&M tonight. For Alabama A&M, 5 runs on 7 hits. 5 of those 7 hits came in the 5-run second, where they made it a 1-run game, 6-5, before the Wildcats controlled it from there. They committed no errors and left 3 on base. For the Wildcats, 15 runs on 12 hits, also committed no errors and left 6 on base. Correction, left 7 on base. The winning pitcher for the Wildcats is Tanner Bocabello. He is now 4-0. Evan Hurlbert takes the loss. He is now 0-4. Time of your ball game, 2 hours and 34 minutes. We will hang on here on the CatEye Radio Network post-game show and hear from Coach Johnny Hernandez here in a little bit. But Bethune-Cookman wins 15-5. Stay tuned. Coach Hernandez's interview is coming up next here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Welcome back to Sliwa Stadium on the campus of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Bethune-Cookman takes their second straight run rule victory over Alabama A&M. They win the series up 2-0 with a 15-5 win. 15 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Alabama A&M scored all 5 of their runs in the second inning, and 5 of their 7 hits were in the second as well. I'm now joined by Bethune-Cookman head coach Johnny Hernandez here on the Wildcat post-game show. Coach, before we talk about the game, we got to talk about you, because you now move into second place all time in Bethune-Cookman head coaching wins with 180. What are your thoughts on that?
No, it's special. You know, it's not possible without, you know, all the players that have come through and worn the maroon and gold and given us an opportunity as a coaching staff to pretty much put them in position, right, to continue their athletic and academic careers. You know, all the coaches that I've had the last 6-7 years, again, this isn't possible without them. And, again, the support of the family, my wife Oli, my daughter Caitlin and Jake, they've been, pretty much with me the entire way. And the support of the administration, the vision when I first took over the program was to make it a national brand in baseball, which we had, we had that here at Bethune. It was just trying to put my flavor into it to add on to the historical significance of our baseball program. And I'm just so proud of everyone that's been involved with every win to, get myself to this point. But it's not about me. It's about the program and what I can do to serve everybody while I'm here, so I'm proud of that.
Let's talk about the game. You guys jumped out big in the first inning. Poyeto had a big home run. You took advantage of Hurlburt being wild, 4 walks in the inning. And then they came back on you a bit, scored 5 runs on 5 hits in the second. What did you tell Tanner Bocabello after that inning when you guys were up by just 1?
Yeah, it was more, he was just leaving the ball up. That's all it was. He had success when he was leaving the ball down, and I think that inning, the fastball, the cutter, the break, everything was just up. So it was more just calming him down. Again, we know what we're going to get from Boca. He's a competitor. He gave us opportunities, and after that second inning, he kind of went into a different gear, to be able to provide us the outing that we needed in order to come out on top.
Talk about the offense being patient, right? You took 10 walks tonight, only struck out 4 times. And that kind of allowed you to have those big innings where you put 6 on the board in the first or 4 in the 6th. Was you just generated runs that way?
Yeah. Anytime that you can have 12 hits and 10 walks, that's 22 guys on. And with, again, the 15 runs and the offensive explosion, again, the offense is putting themselves in a really good favorable counts. They're being patient. They're doing what they need to do, and they're doing damage. I think the biggest thing that I'm proud of is the fact that the offense was 9 for 11 in situational hitting, where we came up clutch and we had 5 or 6 2-out hits that scored a couple of runs. So, for them, it's just kind of continuing that momentum, right? Quick turnaround, early report time at the field, so to speak. But again, just proud of the guys, how they play today and how they've handled themselves the last couple of weeks with the success that we've been experiencing.
Wildcats go for the series sweep tomorrow. Coach, we'll talk to you then.
You got it. Hail Wildcats.
Once again, the Wildcats win 15-5 in 7-inning run rule fashion. 15 runs on 12 hits, no errors. They took 10 walks. Alabama A&M, 5 runs on 7 hits. They committed no errors, and they scored they scored all 5 runs in the second, had 5 of their second hits in the second. For producer Lee Gillum, Director Bryce Wojnowski, and our entire CatEye Network crew here at Sliwa Stadium in Emmett-Riddle, we will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the series finale against Alabama A&M. Until then, have a very good night, and hail Wildcats.